Okay, take two. Oh god. So today is final day of the abundance challenge. Yes, high five. Proud of myself and proud of you guys if you're doing it too, for making it to day 1. I mean making it to day 21. It's been a really like transformational journey. At first I couldn't think that I would complete this. I think it was roughly around like day 6, 7. Oh sorry, no, I remember day 9 and day 10 that I was like behind the homework, and I think that can I just like give up and then redo it next time. I mean, I asked my sisters to do it. She was like, nope, it's okay, no, it's okay. And I was like, maybe it's okay too not to start now, or do something quote unquote more important. But I was like, nope, I want to practice, finishing what I start. I have no problems in starting things, but when it comes to finishing things, that's where my like soft spot is. And through completing this and actually filming it brings me to a realization that, hey, I can complete something, learn something from it, and use my day really well. So yeah, that's the first thing I got, is that I boost my skills of completing things, which I'm yes really excited for. And the second things I got was that it's just reconnected me to my love of writing. So I have a website, caritasun.com. I've started it out. I was really active in 2017 while I was in school. There were so many exciting things. I write almost every day. But when it comes to work, I mean, it's just doing paperwork, manual stuff. I mean, where's the excitement? So now it's like I have content to produce every day, and just beyond writing, reflecting like the daily challenges, actually diverged out and write some more. Like the reason one that I'm really proud of was about me finding out why relatable content is so popular, and why my love for GOT7 is so dominant in my brain. Like what inspires this fervent, not obsessions, okay, I'll call it fervent obsessions. So I decided to use the research and then like try to fit into it. And for the first time I realized I could do it. Previously I thought that academic journals, academic research papers, while I can write for school, I would rather chop off my arms than write it for fun. Even though I know that what makes your article, your post more substantial and maybe potentially more popular, I just don't want to do it. And I was like, yeah, ask me to catch a cockroach and writing that paper is equal weight. But now, no. And I think looking back, why this happened is that I think it was around, I'm not sure, around like day 13, 14, I will link down in my blog below, is that I discovered what was actually holding me from doing what I really loved. And one thing was that I realized that instead of doing it for my words, I'm doing it to like please someone or prove my values. And oftentimes it's ended up proving my values. And because of that, through the process, it just becomes so exhausting to look good, to like say things in a really good way and post things eloquently. It was so tiring. So I never get to do it. But because I realized through this task, I was like, nope, everybody has a journey. You don't get better in just like one day. You get better through you learn by doing stuff. And that was that I discovered. And also the third thing that I got was that I think it was like 1 week after the abundance exercise, and my sister was like, yeah, Jason, like your mood is so much better. Like I commend you. Like I haven't seen you break down because of like things you do. And I was like, oh yeah, that's true. I used to be like lashing out when I'm irritated, or I would like complain, or I would like just disappear, like emotionally or physically disappear. But then I didn't. And I realized that some part in me, like all these holes that I'm not good enough, that whatever, got filled up by all of this exercise, like to love myself, to coming to terms with my money, coming to terms with my past. So like before, lashing out my brothers every time he's like do something against what I ask him to do, but now it's like talking nicely. It was just like I don't know how to explain, but it was more of like I look at him with the eye of disdain and irritations. I look at him with like the eye of like love and affection, because I feel like that's slowly being transformed of how I see myself, and I think that was quite good. Honestly, I'm really pleased because that affected my mood the whole day. And yeah, and the fourth thing would be my relationship with money. I think there was this exercise that was so powerful. It asked me to write out this like money mantra. I call it my own money charm, for 12 times. And I was like, that's a lot. I still have it in my, let me bring it up. I have to write it 12 times on a piece of paper. So this is what I wrote. And so there was like, I think the updated one. Let's show you. Yeah, so this is what I wrote. And one moment that really transformed me was this part that said, money is good, clean and useful for my growth, satisfaction and well-being. I think that all these times I relate money as like the downfall of humanity and my death and demise. I mean, I got into credit card debt, so that's the root of money. But actually it is not. And now that I'm seeing that actually through my repayment of the credit card debt, I'm learning how to like grow with the money itself, and my relationship and how I see money transform. So instead of it being a place of, you know, limited freedom or becoming a pit of hell, it really changed the games. And also one thing I like about the last part is that like one part of it is say, I asked my ancestors who had difficulty due to the lack of monies to bless and to bless and to inspire me courage. Oh, sorry. I asked my ancestors who had difficulty due to the one more time. I asked my ancestor who had difficulty due to lack of money to bless and to give me courage and permissions to live differently. And I asked prosperous forefathers and foremothers to inspire me. And I never relate in this sense to my ancestor before. I know that before me, my family wasn't well off, and while I was growing up, I was actually blaming my circumstances that maybe it's because, you know, I grew up more well off than my ancestors. That's why, you know, I'm more lazy. I doesn't make as much money as they did when they were my age. And I was actually blaming and really like hating my circumstances and myself. But looking through like this, you know, this money charm, I learned to associate money as like a passed on token from my ancestors who come before me and to myself. And now it's like up to me, I'm going to sneeze, up to me to like, okay, what game can I play with it? And it didn't become a burden, or it didn't become like a part where I have to prove myself that like, oh, it's not the third generation curse, or it's not like this life is going to be the downfall of the whole family. So that was really, really freeing for me. And yeah, and I think this is the fifth part was that I had a completions with my, I think, a lot of my past sore spots. So there was this exercise that really dig down into a people who, like, when I recall them, brings painful memory or is feeling of discomfort for me. And a lot of these areas in my life, I realized that like I when I think back, I'm just afraid of looking bad, period. All this drama of that they don't love me, I must do something wrong, I'm so shameful of my behaviors. Fundamentally, it's just me looking bad. And when I was seeing it, I was like, girl, you wish, you are a wish, you know, you're drama queen. And I was like, it's not about them anymore, it's about me. Because honestly, when I look back, it wasn't their action that caused me pain, but it was how I thought I would look in their eye that caused me pain. And after that, I was like, whoa, it was like like I fell off my chair moment. Yeah. And it felt like my exes, my ex crush, my bosses that, you know, my previous bosses, my friends, yeah, these are the sore spots that sometimes when I think it just evoke like discomfort. But now when I look back, it's become like all these disappear, all this feeling disappear, and now it's just become of like a neutral ground, and sometimes even like positive like parts. And I think that one person that I had like this in that completion breakthrough with was my previous boss. And now when I recall her, it's just like a warm feeling, a warm like feeling of love, mentorship and care. And apart the guilt disappear. Yeah, and I knew that like throughout this process, I have done what I can do. I've given out my best to reach out and complete. And now it's my turn to complete with myself how my relationship was with her. So I'm really thankful that, you know, that chapter come to a close. And this also going to reflect, this actually like affects my current relationship with my boss and my future bosses as well. So I glad that this got completed. So all in all, I think let me bring back to the point why I started this challenge. So why I started out this challenge was that I wanted to I think my aunt, she's the one who like inspired me to do this challenge. She's the one who do it before me and my buddy as well. Is that she talked about her relationship with her husband, and it was so funny. It was like he was saying stuff that previously it would be like really irksome. It's like, you know, criticizing the neighbors, talking like, you know, not so positive stuff about things. But her reaction was that she finds joy in what he say, and she finds joy in being with him. And even though it's not like this feeling stayed all the time, but she was able to experience that moment of like not having to find fault in him. And for me, when I realized this, and she said that, oh, it was like on the exercise of the law of trying less, that you don't have to like, it's like try to make something happen, but it's more carefree. And it just like trigger me to think about my past relationship. So the reason why like my ex and I broke up was because I feel that I start finding faults in him. And in like I still remember like what they call the honeymoon period of everything was just so perfect. It was like wow, you know. And now it's that like everything he do is really irksome. The way he talk about the flight attendants, about the airplane, the airline, I was like, what the fish, bro? What the fish? Why are you being so like noah at these little things? Like, aren't you bigger person than that? And I was like, that's the crack. And I don't want that crack to like, you know, be with me when I go into my next relationship. And so like I really want to understand like what's the process, you know, of living without. And I think through the challenge, while I didn't find a new relationship by the end of day 21, one thing I realized was that many people in my life fit the bills of doing something that I found like irritated, or I find like, why you so noir over these small things? And then to doing the exercise and talking to my aunt is that if you replace them with other people, I wouldn't be bothered with anything. So it's come back to like, so who is the one being bothered? And that's me. And I have not find the link yet, but in this challenge that like helps me to, I'm like trying to tie everything back to the abundance challenge, but I realized that it has to do with the fact that the degree of how much I love and hate myself, one thing, and the degree of how I see it. If I see this as a personal attack, of course it would be like, but if I see it as like them just voicing out or like clearing out what they feel inside, because honestly it's not about me that they're saying it off to or they're displaying, but they just wanted to get this like lava, this thing inside of them out. So once I realized it's that, it just like become like, oh, okay. Yeah, it just become like, oh, okay. So yeah, I think that's what I realized. So I think what I'm trying to say is that I think I'm better in relationship, in not being easily like light up, you know, by when people do the noir thing. And by the way, noir, I think it's like a Singaporean slang. I don't know, my sister was saying it. It's something that is like getting pissed off for no good reason. There's no good reason to get pissed off. So when you get pissed off, it's like this little noir thing, you know, like little thing. So yeah, so I think I'm getting better, and I'm positive that I'm actually like, now that I filmed this, it's bring me to a realizations that like when I get into the next relationship, I'm becoming much stronger, like stronger from a lot of learnings, a lot of realizations, and ultimately I'm like if I mean, I love myself to a certain degree, but it's like I love you before, now love you more. So yeah, so good job, son. Really proud of you for completing this. And oh, what I'm going to do, I'm doing next is that so currently I am a content creator in currently I'm a content creator in Sasin School of Management, and I'm going to graduate from my MBA soon. I just have this one class left, which is taught by the COVID. So yeah, so what projects I'm working on right now? There's a couple of things that I'm doing. One thing is that I got my research, like the responsibility, the duties of my academic, you know, life going on the sides, but I'm just going to share. So doing my PhD applications, I think this thing also has to like, I have to like come terms with it. We'll talk in another post. That one. But okay, how about this? Let's talk the stuff that I'm enjoying and I'm pumped and excited about. I think that would be more fun for the video. So my website. I think my website, just writing and reading give me so much joy. It's like I never thought I could be reading books for so long, but after doing this challenge, it just like bring me to our next steps. So I have like a lot of blog posts that I want to do. I think a series for like, you know, answering live questions. Oops, let me pause, finish first.